The cleaning lady and the criminal. The rhythmic swish of Natalia Petrov's mop across the marble floor echoed through the empty office. At 2 a.m., the 47th floor of the Meridian Tower belonged to her alone, or so she thought. The cleaning cart squeaked as she pushed it toward the executive suite, her shoulders aching after 8 hours of work. At 31, her body sometimes reminded her that she wasn't as resilient as she once had been. "You missed a spot." The deep voice startled her. Natalia turned to find a man lounging in a leather chair, whiskey glass dangling from his fingertips. Vincent Caruso, owner of this entire floor and, if rumors were true, half the illegal businesses in the city. She'd never seen him in person during her 6 months working here. "I haven't cleaned that section yet." "Mr. Caruso," she replied, her Russian accent carefully minimized through years of practice. Vincent raised an eyebrow, studying her with cold amusement. "You know who I am." "Everyone in this building knows who you are." Natalia continued mopping. Refusing to appear intimidated, he chuckled, rising from his chair with fluid grace that belied his solid frame. At 40, Vincent Caruso carried himself with the confidence of a man accustomed to being feared. His tailored suit probably cost more than she made in 3 months. "And yet you don't seem properly impressed." He approached, circling her like a predator. "Most people tremble when they're alone with me." Natalia shrugged. "I'm just doing my job. Would trembling help me clean better?" For a moment, silence hung between them. Then Vincent burst into laughter, genuine surprised laughter. "Dominic!" he called out. A door opened, and a leaner, harder-faced man appeared. "This one's got spine." Dominic Russo, Vincent's right hand for the past decade, assessed Natalia with calculating eyes. "Want me to call security, boss?" "For what?" "She's doing her job." Vincent dismissed him with a wave. "Besides, we're celebrating tonight. The Aizawa deal is finally closed." Dominic nodded reluctantly. "The helicopter's ready on the roof whenever you want to head out." Something flickered in Natalia's eyes before she could suppress it. Vincent, ever observant, caught the reaction. "Something interests you about that, cleaning lady?" She returned to her mopping. "No, Mr. Caruso." "You had a look just now." He stepped closer, forcing her to meet his gaze. "What was that about?" "Nothing important." Vincent's smile didn't reach his eyes. "I decide what's important in my building." Natalia straightened her back. "I just thought it was interesting that you have a helicopter. Not many people know how to fly them." "I have a pilot," Vincent replied, watching her face with newfound curiosity. "Why would that matter to someone like you?" The dismissive tone sparked something in Natalia, a flicker of the pride she'd buried years ago. "Someone like me?" "A janitor," Vincent clarified, gesturing to her uniform. "What would you know about helicopters?" Perhaps it was exhaustion, or the accumulated weight of years spent invisible, but Natalia found herself responding with more honesty than wisdom. "I could fly that helicopter better than your pilot." Dominic snorted derisively, but Vincent's expression transformed with interest. "Is that so?" Vincent stepped closer, the scent of expensive cologne mingling with whiskey. "Care to make a wager on that, cleaning lady?" Natalia knew she should back down. Remaining unnoticed was how she'd stayed alive for 5 years. But something about this man's arrogance awakened a recklessness she thought she'd left behind. "What kind of wager?" Vincent's smile widened. "If you can even start the helicopter correctly, I'll double your salary for a year. And if I can fly it?" she challenged. His eyes narrowed, assessing her with newfound intensity. "That's impossible." "Nothing is impossible, Mr. Caruso." Natalia set down her mop. "Only improbable." Vincent exchanged glances with Dominic, who shook his head in warning. But Vincent was already moving toward the elevator. "Let's find out what other surprises you're hiding, cleaning lady." As the elevator doors closed behind them, Natalia felt a rush of both exhilaration and dread. After years of careful anonymity, she was about to reveal a piece of her true self to the most dangerous man in the city, and she couldn't explain even to herself why that felt so liberating.